I am Bob McGee. I am in my Father's house, and right behind me is a Christmas tree. My wife decorated that tree, and I told her I just might leave it up till Palm Sunday. Yep, Palm Sunday is not too, far off, and that's a nice decorated tree, and I'm just enjoying it, so much that there's really no need to take it down. But if she wants it down, she can. I will let her take down the tree. But I am in my Father's house, and it's supposed to rain and turn cold. That's what it's supposed to do. And that's probably what it's going to do. And we are getting closer to the day of the Lord. Yeah. It's been a long time coming. But I mean, God's promises are sure, though. You can just book it. He will send Jesus. Yep. God will send Jesus at the appointed time. And I will be glad. Until then, people will contend with others over the faith. And I am glad to say that I will contend with them until the end. Yep, I intend to endure to the end. God will send Jesus. I have looked in, and since this is the first month of this year and the second day of this year, if you'll look in the first book of the Bible and get into the second chapter, you will start seeing and find I will as words that God is speaking. Yep. God says, I will. And I am sure that if God says He will, He will. And God made some promises. And God has never lied to anyone. He won't lie. God won't lie. You may lie. Others may lie. But God won't lie. He will refuse to lie. Yeah. I like what I'm having to do. Because all I've got to do is just preach the gospel of the kingdom and tell them about the king. And when the king appears, he will be the king. And when he appears, all of these people that think they're going to fly away will see that they didn't go anywhere. But Jesus brought with him. Jesus is going to bring 144,000. I know. That's a guarantee. There's going to be 144,000. And I can tell you for sure, because I've read the Bible, that when Jesus appears, he will look like he did when James and probably James and John and Peter saw him on the mountain with Elijah and Moses. Yeah, Jesus was with Moses and Elijah on a mountain. And those disciples saw Jesus and Moses and Elijah on that mountain. And God was there too. Yeah. God was the one made sure that that what Jesus had said came to pass. That's what God does. God makes sure that what Jesus said comes to pass. God made a covenant with a man named Abram. He changed his name to Abraham. God told Abraham to sacrifice his son. And Abraham was about 100 and probably 112 years old or so at this time. And he took his son up on the mountain where God told him to take him, and he was going to sacrifice his son because God had asked him to. Now, isn't that something? And God stopped him from killing his son and said, "Now I know that you will do anything that I ask you to do." God found out, and some people are going to find out, that God doesn't lie. And when God said, "This is my son," concerning Jesus, he wasn't joking. Jesus was not, God did not say, "This is my word." That's not what God said. God said, "This is my son, and I'm pleased with him." He should have been pleased with it. I mean, Jesus had spent so much time in the temple that he was just enjoying his time in his Father's house in the temple. And his Father was enjoying him. I mean, don't you know how God felt when he just listened to his son talking to those other people in the temple? And they were wondering, where did this man get his wisdom? They thought they had some. They didn't know anything about Mary's son and what wisdom he had. I mean, the grace of God was with him, and he grew in favor with God and man. And some people still don't understand. I guess they never read a Bible. And I guess whenever they hear somebody preach, all they hear is lies. Some lie about a Trinity and a Godhead. Jesus never said anything about either of them. Never did. He would just look up to heaven and go around and just do whatever his Father wanted him to do. That's what Jesus did. And that's what I've learned how to do. I've learned how to do what my Father in heaven wants me to do. And he wants me to preach. So on the second day of 2019, I am making this video. And I'm making it for everyone to know that God himself told me to preach. If I told you something different, I would be lying. And God doesn't like liars. He likes pretty decorated trees, though. Yeah. God likes pretty things. And he likes people that love his son. And Christmas time. I wouldn't have a Christmas time if Jesus hadn't been born. It's too bad he wasn't born on December the 25th. But God don't care. God knows exactly what day he was born. And God knows that December the 25th is Christmas Day. And if Jesus doesn't get back, it'll be Christmas Day next year too. Yep, just thought I'd let y'all know it's over.